Hi guys, this is Jerry Sargent, founder of the Maximum Life Group. Today I wanted to share with you 6 tips on how to develop your relationships, or 6 tips to be aware of throughout all of your relationships. Now, number 1, it's important that you realize that your relationships are mirrors, and your partner, the ones that you're in a relationship with, are going to bring up your greatest fears. Okay, very, very important. We attract people into our lives that show us what we're fearful of, and it's important that we realize that, because a lot of the time our husband, our wife, our partner, whoever it is that we're in a relationship with, is going to bring up our fears, and quite often we don't know how to handle that, and we think that we need to leave the relationship. But what we need to do is to stand there, realize there are fears, and move towards them. Number 2, the other thing that happens when our partners are our mirrors is that they show us what we need to work on most ourselves. So as you're going about your relationships, people that are with you in the relationship are going to show you what you need to work on yourself. I mean, think about this. Let's say it's your first marriage, second marriage, third marriage, it doesn't really matter. The older you get, the more baggage you carry around with you. Now let's say, for example, I meet my wife. I'm 30 years old, my wife's, let's say she's 28 years old, okay? I've got 30 years worth of baggage in a big bag on my shoulder, and my wife's got 20, or my potential future wife has got 28 years worth of baggage on her shoulder. When we meet each other, we don't share this with each other. Everything's, hunky-dory. It's all roses and smiles to start with. You go through the honeymoon period and it's all great. And then what happens as you get deeper into the relationship, the stuff at the top of that bag starts to surface, and you start to see things in each other that you didn't know was there before. But most of the time, that stuff that rises to the surface is the stuff that mirrors you and what you need to work on yourself. So when things rise to the surface, accept them and realize that your wife or your husband or your partner is mirroring what you need to work on most. We don't say to our partners, "Hi, I'm Jerry. It's really, really nice to meet you, and this is my big bag of stuff that's going to come to the surface over the next 5 or 10 years, and it's going to rock us sideways, it's going to disrupt us, it's going to try and ruin our relationship." We don't say that because we're not aware of it, or most of us aren't anyway. But I'm telling you now, I'm sharing this with you, so now you are aware. Next time your husband or your wife does something that you're not too keen on, realize that they're showing you what you need to work on yourself. Very, very important. Number 3, you can't change your partner. You can't change your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, auntie, uncle, whoever it is. You can only change yourself. And you should be grateful to your partners because they're showing you what you need to work on yourself. So be grateful and then change yourself. Don't try and change anything outside of you. Very important. Number 4, don't run away from your relationships. Okay, you can't outrun karma. If you leave your partner, your wife, your husband now, and you go and find another man or woman, I guarantee that that man or woman is going to bring up the same fears, the same stuff that you need to work on. So you've got 2 choices. You either deal with it now, or you deal with it later on. And if you decide not to deal with it now or later on, or in the relationship after that, you're going to have to come back down into another human body and do it all over again. So why not just man up, face your fears, and deal with it right here and now? Because on the other side of your fears lives your largest life, okay? Face them and grow. Very important. Number 5, live with awareness and space. Okay, get out of your mind and into your heart, and be aware of everything that's going on around you. Be aware of your partner, your wife, your husband, your children, all of the relationships in your life, and look at them as a mirror of you, and not as someone's doing this wrong or someone's doing that wrong, or I don't like her or him because they did this or that. Get out of your head. Come into your heart space and see your relationships from a point of space, from a point of awareness. And I promise you, things are going to change in the most magnificent way. Number 6, okay, even though I've suggested that you stand and you stay in your relationships and you work this stuff out, there does come a point when people separate, okay? Consciousness and ego cannot coexist, okay? If you're doing the inner work and you're going on your journey of self-discovery and you're becoming more aware, and your husband or your wife is totally stuck in their head, and this goes on for a long period of time, there may come a point where you separate, like oil and water. Effortlessly, you just drift apart. There's no animosity, it just happens naturally, because that is the natural state of ego and consciousness in the same environment. It can't be together, it's impossible. So just know that if things don't work out and you've faced your fears and you've worked through the stuff and you're keeping on going, eventually, if one party in the relationship is becoming more conscious and one's staying stagnant, full of ego, eventually you're going to separate, okay? Now, at what point this comes is different for everybody. Sometimes it never comes. It really comes down to you as a conscious human being looking inside of yourself and doing the inner work. I mean, my wife and I have been through lots of ups and downs. We've been married for 12 years now, and we've split up on 2 occasions, and it's taken a lot of inner work, a lot of discernment, a lot of questioning, a lot of listening to our heart and not our head, and realizing what we need to do to make this work. And we've got to the point where we thought we were going to split up, but we didn't split up because we separated like oil and water. We split up because of ego. We were both in ego. Both of us were conscious and still had ego. I mean, we never truly lose our ego, we just learn to control it and harness it, and it dissolves into the depths of despair, but it's always there. So the ego always tries to butt back in, but consciousness and ego cannot coexist. So do the inner work and you'll realize what path you need to take, okay? Six tips. They're very important tips if you want to have the best relationships on earth. I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fiber of my entire being. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel now. Keep up to date with all the latest videos. I'm looking forward to sharing you the game real soon. And please, share this content with your friends and your loved ones. Together we can make this world a better place. I'll see you again very soon.